Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Live at 5. I'm Haley Gordon.
And I'm Kyle Pillar. Today is Wednesday, which means we have interviews from our official Richmond County Athletes of the Week, so stay tuned to hear from what they have to say.
We have several top stories tonight, so let's get right to it.
In keeping their winning streak alive and improving to 16-0 on the year, the Lady Raiders varsity volleyball team tied the program's single-season record for wins. The historic start to the season is the best in Richmond's history, and it is the most wins in a single season since 2009. As I was in attendance Tuesday night, it was arguably the most intense match of the season as the Lady Raiders overcame an early one-game deficit to storm back and defeat number 1 Sand Hills Athletic Conference foe Pinecrest High School 3-1. In front of what could be described as a rowdy crowd, the Lady Raiders defeated Pinecrest for the second time this season, but lost the first game to the Lady Patriots 25-19 after they failed to match up defensively. Head coach Shelly Wimpy identified the issue and said that Richmond battled back and made adjustments over the next 3 games to win 25-8, 26-24, and 25-18. Wimpy said the first game was tough because they weren't playing the correct defense, but again, adjustments were made that ultimately paid off. Game 2 was a complete 180-degree turnaround for the Lady Raiders as they held the Lady Patriots to a match-low 8 points. Leading the way for Richmond was senior outside hitter Altman Griffin, who finished the night with 10 kills and 18 digs, and senior middle hitter Brianna Basic racked up a team-high 11 kills and added 6 digs as well. Other stats on the night are senior middle hitter Owen Bowers drilled home 10 kills and 5 digs, while senior center Mackenzie Webb and junior outside hitter Savannah Lampley played hard and gave plenty of support. Wimpy said the girls battled hard, but they also have a big game this Thursday against SAC opponent Jack Britt High School.
On Tuesday afternoon, the Rockingham Fire Department was dispatched to a possible structure fire on the corner of Baker Street and Richmond Road. Upon arrival, first responders noticed a vehicle was on fire under a carport that was attached to the residence. Firefighters quickly extinguished the vehicle fire. There was minimum damage to the house itself. Fire units were marked back in service around 45 minutes later.
Wood pellet manufacturing facility Enviva is facing challenges, and Dobbin Heights community members are speaking out. Enviva and Richmond County officials have created a union, but members of the community are still concerned. The overall discussion of Tuesday's meeting was the comparing and contrasting of the value of the new industrial presence versus the ultimate long-term costs of the local area in terms of possible negative environmental effects. Enviva sought to assure everyone of its good intentions and added similar manufacturing facilities are currently operating in 3 other North Carolina locations with no significant issues.
As a show of good faith, Enviva representatives offered access to their evidence of positive effects on the environment, as well as their role in overall reduction in total carbon emissions, reports of their stringent efforts to ensure a safe and green operational process, transportation and consumption process. However, individuals from the community were still unsatisfied. They brought up concerns about asthma, cancer, shortened life expectancies, traffic congestion, polluted air, higher noise levels, and other negative activities generally associated with manufacturing. Ultimately, Enviva officials readily responded to each and every concern, offering objective scientific analytics to support their claims of good faith. Regardless of certain concerns from citizens, Richmond County has plans to welcome Enviva to the county in December 2018. And when we come back, we will have our interviews from the official Richmond County Athlete of the Week, presented by the Richmond Observer.
Hi, I'm Erin McNair, and on behalf of the entire McNair family, we'd like to invite you to the grand opening of the new McNair Auto Sales location, Saturday, September 30th from 11 to 2. At our new location, 1026 East Broad Avenue, we look forward to serve you with greater selection, better facility, with the same reliable and friendly staff you have grown to know and trust. With over 40 years of experience, you know when it comes to buying your van, truck, or car, McNair is the name you can trust.
Papa,
Phil, Carrie, Ryan, Trey, Kristen, and the whole McNair family look forward to seeing you as we celebrate the grand opening of our new location, Saturday, September 30th from 11 to 2. We'll see you there.
Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts is a specialty retail store in downtown Rockingham, in the heart of Richmond County. We are all about rustic, farm-style home decor and gifts. We offer a variety of antique, vintage, and new items. We love helping you make your house a home with unique, one-of-a-kind finds. We also have specialty gifts for all occasions.
I'm Kelly. I worked at Champion Ford for 2 years.
6 years.
3 years.
1 year.
I've been at Champion Ford for 13 years.
1 whole year.
15 years.
I'm Jamie and I've been at Champion Ford for 12 years.
I've been here 8 years.
Champion prices, champion service, champion experience.
Get treated like a champion today at Champion Ford. Just down the road from our prices, championfordlincoln.com.
We are Champion Ford.
And welcome back into tonight's edition of Live at 5. By now, I'm sure most of you are aware of the official Richmond County Athlete of the Week segment presented to you by the Richmond Observer, in which we feature 2 of Richmond Senior High School's most talented pupils. Not only does the Richmond Observer bring you the best exclusive interviews in town on the online edition, but we also feel that it's necessary to introduce to you our athletes live and in studio. Just a reminder that each Wednesday morning you can pick up your laptop or your mobile device and read my full feature story on the Richmond Observer's website or iPhone and Android app. Each athlete will reveal fun facts, personal stories, and will recap their week's events to give you an inside look into their successes. And as promised before, every Wednesday, we will host the nominees here from our downtown Rockingham studio. Joining us first tonight will be our female nominee. She's a senior who has taken the tennis court by storm and is Richmond's #1 seeded singles and doubles tennis player. Not only does she impress between the lines, but she's also ranked number 13 in her graduating class, and she attends both Richmond Senior and Richmond Community College. Earlier this month, our nominee helped lead the Lady Raiders tennis team to a 6-match winning streak, and we're lucky to have her in studio. And now I've got the extreme pleasure to introduce to you Destiny Bowie. Destiny, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, you are the #1 seed both in singles and doubles for the Richmond Lady Raiders. So before we kind of get into who you are as a student and what your goals are for after high school, let's talk a little bit about this tennis season. This year you guys have won 6 in a row at one point. So just kind of talk to me about what's worked for you so far and what works well for you.
Okay, so all around I think the team seed 1 through 6 have definitely improved over the years. I think we're a lot closer, and the bonding has just helped everybody strive to try and win each match because every match matters.
Sure. So, you know, with being the #1 seed and you know, what you just said, every point matters, every match matters, with that role comes leadership. So talk about what you do on the court and off the court that exemplifies leadership for your team.
Okay, well, last year I guess I wasn't I didn't have good sportsmanship at all. My attitude was very poor, and it showed on the court. And I got I got suspended for 2 tennis matches, and ever since then it kind of showed me, like, you're going to have to step your game up if you want to be a leader next year. You're a senior, you have to set a positive role. And so this year I feel like because of me changing my attitude and trying to be more sportsmanlike, it's definitely helped out. I'm definitely more of a leader this year.
Okay, great. So I'm not going to say that the tennis isn't a popular sport, but many people in Richmond County may not know a whole lot about it. So can you just explain your playing style and you know, what you do on the court each match to rack up those wins?
Right. I try and stay behind the baseline because playing the #1, they tend to hit it very deep. Mm-hmm. And I try to aim for the left back corner every time. And then sometimes they'll hit a short ball, like a backhand. Mm-hmm. And I'll run up to the net and I'll try and just slam it and get rid of it. And used to, I was not comfortable at the net at all. And since I've been playing doubles with KP, neither one of us like the net at all, and it's kind of forced us to have to work at the net. And so I've been more aggressive, definitely.
Okay. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of actually being at your home match against Hope County, and definitely you. I watched you and Kathleen play in doubles, and certainly an aggressive duo, the both of you. So your hats off to both of you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's kind of transition then into Destiny, the high school student. So talk about some classes that you're taking. From my understanding, you not only attend Richmond Senior, but you're also taking some online courses at RCC. So just kind of give the folks at home a background of what you're doing in school.
Okay. So I actually only have 2 classes at Richmond right now. I'm taking AP Chem and English 4. For my first and second block, I go to X-Way Road Animal Hospital, I guess it was, and I do an internship there. It's called like an advanced studies, and so I spend my time there, and I really enjoy. I've learned so much, and I've enjoyed it. Everybody's nice. Learned a lot from it.
So what do you do there in your internship?
Well, we get to watch in on surgeries. We get to help learn how to hold the animals, prep them for surgery, get them ready for the anesthesia. We just learn everything you need to know about animal care, and we help inform the people there too about how to take care of their animals.
Very cool. And so which classes are you in right now at RCC?
I'm taking Art Appreciation, History 132, and English 112.
Awesome. And you're set to graduate in 2018 from Richmond. And you'll have how many years?
I'll almost have 2 years completed by the time I graduate.
All right, so 2 years of college credits already, almost 2 years of college credits completed by the time you're a senior in high school. That's really great.
Thank you.
What are some of your favorite subjects?
I prefer math and sciences. AP Chem is a little bit tougher than most sciences, but that's kind of my pathway. I'm not a history or English person.
What about other Richmond sports? I know that you played soccer in the past, but just kind of talk about your experience with
I did. I played soccer. I played soccer ever since I was 4 years old, and I absolutely loved it. But then it came to soccer or school, and so I chose school over soccer because I can always go play soccer anytime I want. But school matters as of right now. So.
Absolutely. So what are some of the clubs that you're involved with at school?
Okay, I'm in Beta Club. And I've actually completed all of my hours already, like before my senior year.
Great.
I've completed all my hours for National Honor Society too. And I'm also a member of HOSA, which is Health Occupation Students of America. And we go every year and we compete at the state level. And actually last year I competed in nursing assistants, and I made it to the 2nd round.
Awesome. So you're going to go back this year?
Yes, and I'm going to compete in veterinary assistant.
Cool. So speaking of being a veterinarian, it's my understanding too that you want to go kind of in that direction. You expressed to me the other day when we chatted that you love animals, not just cats and dogs, but all animals. So talk about that passion for animals and what you hope to do with that when you graduate and go to college in the fall.
Ever since I can remember, I've just always had a love for animals. See a cat or dog on the street, and I'm just like, can we pick it up, Mom? Like, can I have this animal? And my mom is also an animal person, and so she's there with me when we see like dogs and stuff on the road. We actually have rescued four of our dogs are rescued, just found on the road. And not only do I like cats and dogs, like you said, I do love all animals. I went on a trip this summer to Bali, Indonesia, and I worked with sea turtles. And that really spiked my interest in exotic animals and maybe working with.
So what did you do with the sea turtles? Because you were there for 2 weeks, right?
Correct.
So what did you do?
The first week was an introduction week, so we just kind of we learned about the culture. We took some like language classes, took some cooking classes and stuff of that sort. And then the second week we actually worked with the sea turtles, and we would go and we'd clean their tanks every day. We would clean them every day because when they're in the tanks, they grow bacteria on them, which they wouldn't grow in the sea. It's a really good rehabilitation center, and they've saved thousands of turtles. And while I was there, we actually got to release 2 turtles. So it's an amazing experience.
So you want to major in biology, and where are some of the schools that you're looking at right now?
I'm looking at NC State as my top right now. If NC State doesn't work out, I was thinking about UNCP, doing the pre-veterinary program there, and Wilmington's also a choice.
Awesome.
So.
Very cool. So to close out our segment, I always ask our student athletes to maybe tell an interesting story, an interesting fact about themselves. And you kind of have one of the more interesting stories that we've had so far. So if you'd like to share.
Right. I was actually adopted when I was 4 years old by my aunt and uncle, along with all my other siblings were adopted, and most of us went to family members. There was one that didn't get to. But our family has definitely helped get us where we are today, and without them, there's no telling where we would be. So
Awesome.
Very grateful for that.
Well, Destiny, I'd like to thank you so much for coming in studio today, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck, both on the tennis court and in school. And folks, maybe you'll see her in a local vet office near you someday soon. So when we come back from these messages from our sponsors, our male student athlete of the week will be in studio, so be sure to stick around and find out who he is here on Live at 5.
At Richmond Community College, we can prepare you for a high-skill, high-paying career in a variety of fields. From business to education, engineering, utilities, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, and human services. At Richmond Community College, we can save you thousands of dollars on tuition through our university transfer programs that provide a seamless transition to universities and colleges throughout North Carolina. At Richmond Community College, we are always developing new courses and programs in response to the communities we serve. We offer day, evening, and online courses, and you can now complete 5 curriculum programs entirely online. At Richmond Community College, we believe in helping you prepare for a better life. Richmond Community College. Local college, big impact.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on Live at 5. Tonight we continue our third edition of the official Richmond County Athlete of the Week segment presented to you by the Richmond Observer. Joining us just a moment ago was our female nominee, Destiny Bowie, and in studio now is a young man who has, according to his head coach, Brian Till, earned the right to be recognized by the RO. As only a freshman on the football team, our nominee has led the Raiders to a 3-2 start on the season, and it is a dual threat on offense. Through 5 games, he has thrown for 669 yards and 6 touchdowns, while also rushing for 128 yards and adding 3 rushing scores. In Friday's 56-34 win against Purnell Sweat, he put up a season-high 223 passing yards, threw for 1 touchdown, and also scored twice via the ground attack. And if you're a fan of Raiders football, you should know that I've been describing Caleb Hood, who is the Raiders' starting varsity quarterback. Caleb, I'm so glad you're able to join us in studio tonight. Thank you. So before we kind of jump into getting to know you as a person at school and in the community and things you like to do for fun, I do want to talk about football. Richmond County is a very, very rich community when it comes to football history and tradition, and now you're able to wear that green and gold on Friday nights. And so just tell the folks at home what it's like for you to wear that jersey and what it means to represent Richmond football.
It's been really surreal because I've been waiting so long to wear the Richmond jersey and helmet and all that, and I finally got to put it on, and it feels great.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very surreal. You grew up being a ball boy for the Richmond Raiders, so just kind of talk about being a ball boy in 3rd grade and forward. How did that get you interested in the program, and how does that transcend, or how did that get you to where you are today?
Watching all the Raider games and stuff, and watching going to overtime and win and stuff, and celebrating with the team in the locker room. And it just made me want to be a Raider so much more.
Absolutely, and a Raider you are. You've led the team to a 3-2 start. You faced some really tough non-conference opponents, but you personally and the team have found your niche. Talk about Purnell Sweat's game the other night. You guys came out, you won 56-34. You had a season-high 223 passing yards, threw for a touchdown, you ran for 2 more. I've described you in my articles as a dual threat quarterback, and I think you know that. So just what's working for you right now, and what worked really well for Friday night's game against Purnell Sweat?
Well, first, my O-line, they were really good Friday, and you could see it on film and everything. But my receivers, they were running their routes really good, and they just helped me. Yeah.
Coach Till, I talked to him too, and he said that you're really starting to develop as a leader on the team, and he told me, he said, you're such a quiet kid at practice and in school and that sort of thing, but when it comes to being on the field, you're very detail-oriented, and you know what you want, and you're not afraid to let your teammates know that. So he complimented you, too, on your progression in passing the football. So kind of walk us through those touchdowns on Friday night against Purnell Sweat.
Well, the first one, it was trips left, 87Z.
Okay.
And it's just where you just give your receiver a chance on the single side, and that's pretty much like my favorite play.
Okay.
Because
you just throw it up there and let them make the play.
Yeah. And it's not really hard to throw touchdown passes because you just got to get it to your playmakers and then they do it for you.
Yeah, Malik Stanback that was a beautiful touchdown. It was 64 yards or 66 yards, and it was right down the right sideline. But what about when you're rushing the ball? Are they always design plays, or are you reading the defenses? What about those two rushing touchdowns Friday?
Well, the first one, it wasn't really a design run. Nothing was open, and I just kind of ran it in.
Sure.
Myself.
So you're able to make those reads kind of on the fly. Very cool. So again, you can catch the Richmond Raiders. They're home again this Friday as they'll welcome in Moore County rival Pinecrest High School. And so I'm sure you're preparing for that in practice this week. But let's talk about Caleb, the student. You're 15. You're a freshman at Richmond, or excuse me, at Ninth Grade Academy rather. So just kind of talk about maybe some of your favorite subjects, some of the things that you're involved with at school, or things that you'd like to become involved with this year.
Well, my favorite subject in school is math. I mean, I like dealing with numbers and stuff like that.
Sure.
But
which I'm not. I'm an English teacher, so
yeah.
we're opposites there, but to each their own.
And I'd like to join Beta Club because I'm on a pretty good track right now, and hopefully I could eventually join that.
Sure. And so, what are your grades like? Are you a straight A student?
For right now, I have straight A's and 1B.
Awesome. So I hope that you continue to do well in the classroom. What are some of your hobbies that you like to do? And from my understanding and talking with you and Coach Till, you're football 8 days a week. I mean, you're football all the time. So when you do find that downtime, what do you like to do?
Well, I love playing Madden with my brother, and
do you beat him?
Sometimes. But
Sometimes.
Most of the time he beats me.
Okay. And younger brother, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But and I like watching Clemson football games and stuff, and I go out to eat with the O-line on Thursdays, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah. So talk about being. It's not common that a freshman, somebody of your age and your position, gets to start on Friday nights for a varsity team. So just kind of talk about too what it means to be taken in by that O-line, which is comprised mostly of older guys. So why is that special?
You got a bunch of seniors, and they're pretty big, and
sure.
They're protecting you,
right?
So you feel like pretty comfortable.
Awesome. Well, that's very, very cool. So let's talk about your aspirations. You're only a freshman, so you still got 3.5-ish years left at the high school level. So let's talk about what you want to accomplish, maybe academically in high school, but also on the football field. What are your goals in high school?
Well, first I want to graduate and go to college.
Sure.
But
where do you want to go to school? Have you even thought about that?
Well, right now I want to go to Clemson, and I want to be like Deshaun Watson.
Okay, and he's one of your biggest mentors, right? That's
yes,
somebody
sir.
you really, really look up to. So do you have an idea of what you'd like to major in? I know that's kind of far out there, but.
Not really, but Deshaun Watson majored in communication, and I kind of want to go in his footsteps. And
absolutely, yep. That's what I went to school for, on top of teaching, and so definitely a lot of opportunities in that field. So what are some other things that you'd like to do at Richmond? Or what are some other? Are you going to try out for any other sports?
I'm going to try out for basketball, and I think I'm trying out for track too.
Okay, cool. So you'll be a 3-sport year-round athlete. That'd be great. So be sure to keep an eye out on Caleb Hood, as perhaps you'll see him be on the basketball court this winter, as well as on the track this spring. Caleb, before you go, I always like to ask our student athletes an interesting fact or a funny story. And actually yours, what we talked about the other day, there was two. There was a food that you really liked, and then there was a story that kind of gave you Richmond County ties. So you want to let the folks at home know about your grandfather?
About him being the coach?
Mm-hmm.
Can we restart on that part?
No, you just tell the folks at home who your grandfather was, or who he is, and what his role was at Richmond.
Well, he was the head football coach at Richmond.
Paul Hoggard, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Caleb's ties go all the way back, many years, and your dad played here, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he
No, he played at West Carlisle.
That's right, and he went to UNC.
Yes, sir.
Right, so you come from a very rich football background, and with Coach Hoggard, having ties to Richmond, that's certainly a cool fact. And what's your favorite food that you like to eat? Donuts, right? So maybe you'll see Caleb around town at one of the local donut shops. Caleb, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so glad you were able to come in and let the people of Richmond County know who you are, and I wish you continued success, not only on the field, but in the classroom as well.
Thank you.
Guys, when we come back, we'll have more local sports for you, and so stay tuned right here on Live at 5.
Family Pharmacy has been serving Richmond County since April 2007, and we have enjoyed getting to know our customers since then. We take our jobs very seriously, and will do whatever we can to make sure you have what you need. Come visit us on Fayetteville Road in Rockingham, and we will treat you like family.
With hospice, you guys just outdo yourselves every day. And I really appreciate it. I honest to God don't know what I would do if it weren't for you. The things that you do, I'm in approval of. And thank you. I don't know what else to say other than thank you.
In tennis news, the Lady Raiders got back in the winning column Tuesday as they defeated Hope County High School 9-0. Number 1 seeded player Destiny Bowie won 6-3, 6-3, and junior Jayana Nicholson handled her number 2 opponent 6-1, 6-3. Richmond's number 3 seeded Kathleen Pittman won 6-0, 6-1, and further down the bracket, junior Emily Parsons completed a shutout of her Lady Buck opponent 6-0, 6-0 in the number 5 singles match. In doubles play, Bowie and Pittman won 8-3 in the number 1 match, while Chloe Wiggins and Taylor Parrish were successful with a 8-1 win in the number 2 competition. And Parsons and fellow junior Elizabeth Burns won 8-0 to close out the match. Now 7-5 on the season, the Lady Raiders will head to Lumberton High School Thursday. The match is set for 4 p.m.
The junior varsity volleyball team also faced tough competition Tuesday, and it too held off Pinecrest for the victory, taking the match 2-1 by the scores of 25-23, 23-25, and 25-21. Head coach Ashley Larson, whose team has won 10 of its last 11 matches, credited her players for finding the will to come back and play the best volleyball they have all season. Sophomores Jasmine Ewing and Madison Jordan and freshman Emmy Cooley helped out the defensive unit. Between the three, they racked up 29 digs, with Jordan leading the way with 14. Cooley had 10, while Ewing added 5.
Volleyball teams will return to action Thursday as they'll host SAC opponent Jack Britt High School. The varsity team will look to set the single-season wins record at 17, but will face a tough Lady Buccaneers team to do so. Junior varsity will kick things off at 5 p.m., followed by varsity at 6.
A new column in the Richmond Observer will showcase a local business in Richmond County each week. The question and answer format is to highlight what local businesses are doing in the community. And the Richmond Observer, being a large supporter of small businesses, encourages you to nominate a local business to be featured in this weekly column. Email all nominations to editor@richmondobserver.com. This week's local business spotlight is Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts. The store opened in September 2015 in downtown Rockingham with plenty of unique finds.
Owner Jill DeBerry loves vintage and antique items, but the store still has plenty of new items to offer as well. They sell various items such as jewelry, purses, baby and wedding gifts, and of course repurposed furniture. Make sure to check them out at 122 South Hancock Street in Rockingham, or for any questions, they can be contacted by email at info@willowtreeantiquesandgifts.com or by calling 910-730-1776.
Ellerbe is set to host its 22nd annual Farm City Week Parade on Saturday, November 18th, starting at 11 a.m. This is one of Richmond County's longest-standing annual events. The event showcases the county's pride and rich history in farming and agriculture. There are several floats and organizations already registered, and they expect to have nearly 140 entrants, just like last year. With several food vendors on site, this event promises to be a good time for all. Anyone can enter the parade, and there is no charge. To sign up, one can contact Ellerbe Town Hall at 910-652-6251.
Tomorrow, Thursday, September 28th, the Richmond Young Professionals will host their inaugural Chamber Chase event. The event is inspired by the Amazing Race with the challenge of scavenger hunts. Teams of up to 4 people will compete head-to-head as they race to as many participating local businesses as they can to complete challenges, answer questions, and win points for their team. Teams will also have the opportunity to earn points by taking a pit stop at some of Richmond County's historical sites where they will answer trivia questions and collect tokens.
The Chamber Chase event is scheduled from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with check-in and day of registration beginning at 5:15 p.m. Steve Earwood, owner of the Rockingham Dragway, has graciously allowed the organization to utilize the Dragway as the race kickoff location. Participants will have 2 hours to complete as many tasks and earn as many points for their team, and then reconvene at the event's finish line in the parking lot of Hudson Brothers Deli. To register for the event, head to the official Chamber Chase event page on Facebook, or look for the event post in the Richmond Young Professionals group.
Richmond Community College is inviting the community out for a free concert with the band Classic Journey Live. This is a part of the President's Club kickoff celebration on Thursday, September 28th at the Cole Auditorium, with the concert set to begin at 6 p.m. People who come out for the celebration will also be treated to a tour of the campus and free ice cream provided by Twisted Treats. To learn more about the benefits of joining the President's Club, please visit www.richmondcc.edu/President's Club.
Join First Health Moore Regional Hospital Richmond for its 35th annual Wellness Screening Day. Pre-draws will be conducted weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on October 2nd through the 6th, and again on the 9th through the 11th. Some of the hospital screening options are vitamin D, bone density, EKG, blood pressure, pap smear, and prostate-specific antigens. And now, let's go to Kelsey for today's weather report.
Today's 3-day weather forecast is brought to you by Medical Center Pharmacy. Tomorrow will be a high of 92 degrees and partly cloudy, and Friday will be mostly cloudy with a cool down of a high of 76 degrees. Saturday we'll see a high of 79 degrees and plenty of sun. Hurricane Maria, the season's 17th named storm, is bringing tropical storm wind forces to coastal North Carolina. The coast shouldn't experience anything more than high winds, but some areas are taking precautions to protect the roads from rough waters.
Well, it looks like we're going to finally have some sweater weather this weekend.
Yeah, it's finally going to get down into the 70s, and hopefully maybe we can break out the fall collection here on the show.
Yes, I'm so excited. Leggings and boots.
And sweaters.
Yes, lots of sweaters.
I think I'm going to opt out on the leggings and boots part.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't go so well for you.
I don't think so. Well, that's going to conclude another night here at the Live at 5 studio. I'm Kyle Pillar.
And I'm Haley Gordon. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you again tomorrow. Good night, Richmond County.
So long.